Good morning, YouTube. I'm back. New video today. So you can see behind me, I got the 240. It's been a minute since I made a video on the 240, but I figured I'm gonna start making videos now, I think, like more regularly, because I got lots of content I wanna share with you guys, and I think some of this stuff can be helpful. So if you guys know what you're looking at, you might be able to see behind me, the 240 looks a little different. Maybe a different engine, maybe the SR20 is in. Yes, the SR20 is in. But we'll get to that. Maybe in another video, or we'll see. But today what I wanted to do is show you guys how to, I guess, essentially refurbish or polish aluminum wheels. So last season I bought some 15-inch by 7.5 vintage SSR EXC Mesh wheels. So we can take a look at those. But what I'm gonna do is tear them apart, sand the barrels, and power polish. I'm gonna show you how to do that because I got these wheels like 2 years ago almost, and I've been running them, and I just realized, like, man, they look like crap. I should clean these up, and like I finally got around to it. Unfortunately, it's February in Canada, so it's freezing cold. So we're gonna do it in my new garage here that you can kind of see. But I'm gonna show you guys how to do that, and then hopefully you can do it to your own wheels. So let's take a look at those wheels, okay? All right, look at these sharp boys. So obviously the tires are all dirty from getting polish and everything on them, but these are 30-year-old wheels, right, that I've polished. So I did these ones last week, the fronts, and you can see, like, it's literally like a mirror. You can see the reflection all the way around, how shiny those are. So when I bought these, they had already been a little bit refurbished. The centers were taken out and powder coated gold, which I'm okay with right now. I might change the color eventually, and maybe try and get some chrome hardware or something eventually. But these are not show wheels. These are my, driving wheels. Eventually I'll get nicer wheels, but if these get scratched or dirty or whatever, I'm not too worried about it. But I still want them to look nice. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. But let's quickly look at this rear wheel here and just show you how gross and grimy they are. Like, look back in here. This should be all shiny, but it's just so beat over the years. Who knows if these were ever worked on? I don't think so. So you saw what they look like after I've done the work, and you see what they look like before. So I got two done. The reason I wanted to obviously make sure that what I'm doing works, and I'm not trying to show you guys a video of me attempting something that sucks. So I tried a few different methods, and I kind of figured out what works. And this is not, if somebody, you want to fix your wheel, if your wheels are really wrecked or need a lot of work, you're gonna probably have to take them somewhere. But if this is something where, you found an old set on Facebook Marketplace or used or something, and they just need to be cleaned up a little bit, and you can get them for cheap, and just the aluminum needs to be cleaned up to look new again, this is perfect. If your wheels are bent or curb rashed or smashed, they might need a little more work, but this is just to get them looking shiny and polished. So let's take these wheels apart. Okay, so first thing you're gonna wanna do, I laid this wheel down on my floor and I put a little dirty rag underneath because you're gonna be using some chemicals and stuff and you don't wanna get it on your floor. Unless you don't give a shit about your floor, then go ahead. But what I'm gonna do is first spray a little bit of my liquid wrench on these bolts. If your wheel is not a 2 or 3 piece wheel, it's just a single piece wheel, you don't need to do this, obviously. But I do, and I don't know the last time these were taken off. So just to be safe, I'm gonna spray a little liquid wrench front and back, get it lubed up. So we're gonna let that sit for a couple minutes. I'm gonna do my other wheel. Once we do that, we'll take all the hardware off. And in the case that you have hardware just like me do, In the case that you have hardware just like I do, I'm going to show you how to clean that super easily, because not everybody has you know, a commercial grade hardware cleaner. So let's do that. Okay, so next step. We got the wheels apart. We got all our hardware. So make sure you have all your hardware. So you can see I got all my hardware here. And if you don't have 2-piece, 3-piece wheels, like I was saying earlier, you can skip this step, but it's a nice tip for any time you're cleaning any parts and pieces, right? So you take your bottle, whatever kind of container you want to use. I got my whiskey bottle because I'm a whiskey guy. And fill it with all your parts and hardware. Obviously, if your stuff's a little bigger, you need some bigger container to put it in. And then what I'm gonna do is fill that with white vinegar. So the vinegar is gonna help to just clean off all the stuff, the gunk from the road, some of the rust. And I'm gonna leave it in there for about 30 minutes to an hour, just depending on how bad this stuff is. And you can give it a shake every once in a while to make sure that you can get all that stuff off. So let's go look at the wheels now. All right, here are the wheels. So I got those centers out, a little bit of a pain, but then you can see, right? All this stuff, like I don't want that. I want it to look all shiny and new. I mean, they do look shiny right now, but the reason they look shiny right now is I'll soak these in WD-40. That just helps to get some of the loose stuff off and kind of help lubricate it and get all that gunk off. So once you do that, soak in WD-40, leave it for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, then give it a really good wipe down, and then we're gonna get on to sanding these. All right, so now we're gonna get to sanding. So when we're sanding these wheels, we're gonna need a few different sandpapers, something a little more rough to get the stuff off and kind of clean it down, and then we're gonna slowly, progressively smoothen it out, and then we'll polish it to get that shine. This case, I'm going to start at around 400, work my way to 600, and then 15 to get it really smooth. There's some different, sandpapers you can use. You could start a little more aggressive, like I have 220, but that might be a little bit abrasive because keep in mind aluminum is soft. And then you could even go, I might use an 800 between the 6 and the 15, but you want to use a few stages of sandings. If you only use this, it's not going to get off the aggressive stuff, and if you only use this, it's going to leave your wheels really rough and looking very scratched. So we're going to progressively work our way through. So let's start with the 400. Okay, so you can see now, this is after a light 220 and then a 400, a pretty heavy sand with the 400. So you can see it looks pretty rough and scratched up, but a lot of those big scratches or, the haze that kind of had developed just from the sunbathing in this thing is going to be gone now. You can already start to see a shine, and it's becoming a little more reflective, even though we've sanded it and I wiped it down pretty good. So now we're going to hit it with 600, then maybe an 800, depending on how it looks, and then the 15, and then we'll polish. So my setup here is the Powerball. I think Mothers makes this, Mothers V2 Powerball. And this thing works pretty good. So I'll just use a couple different speeds on my Milwaukee drill here. But I'm also using Mothers mag and aluminum polish. I did the front wheels in this and they turned out really nice. And this is like $9. Like you might need 1 or 2 of these. These are only 15-inch wheels, so I'd probably be okay with 1. But if you got big 20-inch wheels or something, you might need 2 of these. But I'm gonna go ahead, I'll apply a bunch of that when I'm done sanding and wipe it down. Apply a bunch of that and kind of rub it in by hand or with a cloth. And then I'll go ahead and hit it with the Powerball. So let's get to it. So you can see it starts to turn black, that polish. The more black you can kind of rub out is gonna, from what I understand, show a better polish. So you really wanna get enough in there to get it nice and lubricated all the way around, and then rub it in so it starts to get black like that. And you can be fairly generous with this too. I'm gonna maybe put a little extra on here, kind of rub it in. Now let's give it a shot. So this is after one polish. You saw I went around a few times. Make sure when you're doing a wheel like this, you know, it looks fairly simple, but there's lots of ridges here. There's one here, there's one down here, there's one here. So you want to make sure you're sanding in all of those and power polishing all of those. So you can see, right? You can see all the reflection already starting to come through. And I'm going to do 2-3 passes, maybe 4 with the polisher to get it real shiny, but that's just after 1-2 minutes. It's that shiny, so let's keep going. Okay, fuck, I'm all dirty. But we did it. We got a wheel done. We got 3 out of 4 wheels done. I'm gonna go ahead and do the 4th one, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like once you complete one. So let's have a look. Ooh, I mean, fuck, it's gross back there. I gotta do something with that. But the wheel itself, I mean, look at that shit. That's a fucking brand new wheel. That's a brand new wheel. Beautiful. So you just follow those steps. Take your time, be delicate. You feel like you're gonna wanna put a lot of force on that power polisher. You don't need to. Let it do its own job. And when you're done, you could have something shiny like that. Wow, it's gonna look sharp. So take a look at this before and after, front to back, ready? Before, ooh, crusty. Before, after, golly. That's some shiny shit. All right, guys, so that's it. That's how you do it. Super simple. You need maybe a power ball, or you can do it by hand if you want with a buffing pad. Those few sandpapers and some polish. I like that Mother's polish. It worked really nice. So it's those few steps. You can get it done pretty quick. I'm just doing it here on a Saturday. You can do it in a few hours and have brand new wheels for your nighttime cruise. So give that a shot. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll answer them. Please subscribe and follow. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.